If you're a junior developer, you definitely know the feeling. Interviews are just around the corner, and you get that sinking feeling in your stomach when you even think about someone looking at your GitHub profile. You feel like you've learned so much, but you have absolutely nothing to show for it. Well, we're gonna fix that.
Okay, let's just be real for a second. That green contribution graph is looking a little sparse, isn't it? That feeling of panic is totally valid, but the solution is way faster than you think. Today, we're gonna break down a framework to turn that empty profile into a real asset. And guess what? You can do it this weekend.
So, how did we even get here? I mean, you've been working hard, right? You've watched hours and hours of tutorials, you've followed along with all the courses. The problem is, you might be stuck in something I like to call the tutorial trap. Does this loop look painfully familiar? You watch a video, you copy the code, you get that little dopamine hit of feeling productive, and then you close the laptop. And the end result? Zero. Zero independent artifacts. You are just a passenger in someone else's car. That code was never really yours.
And this right here, this shows the huge gap between what you know and what you can actually prove. See, on the left, you've got your internal metrics. You have great grades, you finished 100% of the tutorials, you feel ready. But the market, the people who are actually going to hire you, they only care about market metrics. Things like independent commits, deployed URLs, code you can actually defend. And if those are zero right now, well, that's the gap that's making you unemployable.
So what happens when interview season kicks off and that gap is still there? I mean, where does this road actually lead? Well, it usually leads to two very common and very frustrating dead ends that a ton of junior developers run into when they start looking for a job. On one path, you've got the empty profile. It's basically an empty fridge. There's nothing there for a recruiter to see. The last commit was, 14 months ago? On the other path, you have the undefendable project. This is that huge monster tutorial project you copied. The second an interviewer says, "So walk me through this," you just freeze. You can't defend it because you didn't really build it. And both of these paths, they lead to the exact same place, a 404 error on your job offer.
Now, I know this might all feel a little overwhelming, but here is the good news. The reason you're stuck, it has nothing to do with your talent or how much time you have. It's something else entirely.
This little matrix here explains everything. Look, on the vertical axis, you have talent, and on the horizontal, you have direction. So many developers are way up here, high on talent but low on direction. They become overwhelmed abandoners who start a million things but never finish anything. The path to becoming a hired junior isn't about more talent, it's about better direction. An empty portfolio is not a talent problem, it's a direction problem. And here's what that looks like in the real world. The tutorial trap project. That comes from someone else's idea, it has a massive sprawling scope, and it just stays unfinished on your computer. But the hireable junior project, that starts from a real personal frustration. It has at most 3 features, and most importantly, it's ugly, but it is deployed. This is the shift we have to make. All right, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Here is a simple step-by-step framework to get you from that state of panic to having a real defensible project on your GitHub in just one weekend. Here's the game plan. It's 5 simple steps from Friday night to Sunday evening. We're gonna pick a problem, scope it way down, open GitHub from minute 1, deploy it before it's perfect, and then, and this is key, prepare to talk about it.
First up, pick a boring personal problem. And yes, I said boring. Forget about building the next big social media app or some complex AI thing. Think smaller. A habit you want to track, a list you keep losing. Why? Because boring means scoped. Scope means it's finishable. And right now, finishable is the only thing that matters.
Step 2 is all about ruthless focus. You need to define exactly 3 features. All those cool ideas, user authentication, dark mode, payment gateways, they are the enemy of finished. You got to funnel all of them down to just 3 core functions. Write them down before you even touch your code editor. That list of 3, that is your project. Step 3, and this is a huge psychological shift. You open GitHub from minute 1. I mean it. Before you write a single line of application code, you run git init, git add, git commit. When you work in a public repository from the very start, it completely changes how you work. It forces you to build a commit history, which is a story a recruiter can actually follow.
Okay, step 4 is a total mindset shift, and it is so important. You have to deploy before you polish. This seesaw says it all. A live, deployed URL for a kinda ugly project is infinitely more valuable than a beautiful 80% polished project that only exists on your laptop. Use Vercel, Netlify, GitHub Pages, whatever. Just get it online. That URL is the proof.
And finally, step 5. Once it's built, you prepare your defense. So when an interviewer says, "Walk me through this," you're going to be ready. You're going to write down your answers to 3 key questions. 1. What problem does this solve and why did you build it? 2. What was the hardest part and how did you solve it? And 3. If you were to rebuild this today, what would you do differently? This shows problem solving, self-awareness, and growth all in one go.
So why does this whole thing work so well? Because it completely realigns what you're doing with what the market actually cares about. It's all about proof, not polish. It's really just a simple formula. Steps 1 through 4, building and deploying your project, that solves the empty portfolio problem. And step 5, writing your talking points, that solves the undefendable code problem. You put them together and you get a defensible asset. This framework doesn't just make a project, it creates undeniable proof of what you can do.
So, there you have it. The anxiety you're feeling is real, but it is fixable. This weekend, you have a choice. You can watch another tutorial, or you can build an asset that's actually going to help you get hired. So stop watching. Start committing.